Hey guys, Adam Markley here, co-founder of Dealmaker Wealth Society. I wanted to share with you today a really cool clip from a partner call recorded a couple weeks ago. See, partners are people who work with Carl and I directly on buying businesses. They help find the deals and we help close the deals. And we had a conversation with them specifically around the importance of relationship building. And I wanted to share this with you guys because it's the difference between closing a deal and not closing a deal. So it's really important you understand how relationally you have to interact with people as opposed to just looking at them from a transactional perspective. So enjoy the clip and let me know in the comments below what you think. In terms of brokers, right? I saw this just yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So I was talking with someone here in Baltimore, and they're looking at deals, and they were trying to send some emails to brokers, and they were like, I'm not really getting any responses to my emails. And they sent me an example of their email, and frankly, it was not good. It was quite poor, to be honest. And I think they missed the forest for the trees, right? And I think it would be helpful for everyone to kind of think about this, to think about this as you're working with any sort of intermediary, whether it's a broker, an advisor, anyone. It's important to think about this. It's pretty clear that people often look at brokers as transactional beings, same with any other intermediary. Like, hey, this is a person who's involved with a transaction, and this is what they have to focus on. However, realize that they're getting banged up all the time by wannabe entrepreneurs who think they're like every Tom, Dick, and Harry and can just buy any business they want. How do you separate yourself? Well, the first and easiest way to do it is your first point of contact. If you're doing it digitally, which most interactions start that way, you got to go in straight from the beginning as establishing yourself as someone they want to build a relationship with, not handle a transaction for, right? So see if you can find some kind of commonality in their background, their experience. Look them up on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever you can to gain some insights in who they are. Do the exact same due diligence you would for a seller or a company, but on the broker. You're not necessarily trying to buy their business, but you want to understand what you can do to flag yourself as someone they want to have a relationship with. We constantly are talking to brokers, oftentimes with many of you guys, and we're finding when we jump onto the call with them, we're not quite at a relational point of view, right? We're still in the transactional stage, and we've got to uncover and dig into a relational point of view. We want that broker to want us to be the buyers, because all of a sudden we've got a big check mark that says these guys are good. We're working. I don't know if Matt's on the call. I don't think he is. We're working on a deal with Matt, who's in the partner program. The broker's literally holding up the process just to see what our offer is and how it works. And we're talking multi-week holds here, right? Like, because we're still trying to do our due diligence and understand what this deal might support. Just think about that. This is someone going to the seller and saying, you already have an offer in hand, and I stand to make money regardless, but I want you to wait for these people because I trust them and like them better. Think about how powerful that is.
Yeah.
So we can put in an offer that is not as good as the first offer, and I don't know what the first offer is, but we've got a broker who's so encouraged and so enthusiastic about what we provide as buyers that they are 100% holding up the process to allow for us to participate in it. So think about that. Not everything has a broker, and frankly, we prefer deals that don't. It's cleaner. It's one less person to negotiate with. But everyone's got advisors. Everyone's got advisors. We're doing a deal with Ian that's in Scotland. We're trying to work through some of the steps right now. Carl's built a fabulous relationship with some of the advisors on the other side, to the point where he's giving them advice. Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we've got to think about how we're building a relationship, not just with sellers, but with everyone in the process. I use brokers as the easy proxy because everyone knows brokers in this space. But whether you have a broker involved or not, who in that business or around that business can you build a relationship with? Should be part of your kind of seller due diligence, right? Who's their advisors? Who are they networked with? Ask all these questions and figure out how to really dive in. We use the dating analogy all the time. You're not going to meet someone and ask them to marry you on the day you met them, unless you're in Vegas. Most of the time, you're going to build a relationship. You're going to court them. You're going to take them on dates. You're going to provide a set of life experiences that everyone can share in. Do the same when you're trying to buy a business. What can you do to build that relationship and that level of rapport? It's so critical. And I feel like we bang the drum a lot, but it's just super, super critical. You're negotiating not just with a seller. You're negotiating with a seller and their advisors. Make as many of those people happy and on your side, and the deals will go right on through, right? So super, super, super important. Again, classic example is what I said already. This deal that Matt's working on, they will have collectively held up the entire process about a month by the time we're through analysis, putting our analysis together, figuring out what kind of offers we can put together. Think about it. A whole month. The seller has had an offer in hand. Literally, the broker is sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars in compensation and holding it up. Think how powerful that is. It's just, it's wild when you think about it, but that's the focus.
I think that's the most important thing you've said on this call.
Cool.
You've earned your money today.
I've earned my money. Nailed it. Great.